All right, welcome back, everyone. We continue right here on Pittsburgh CW. 7 nights a week, we're here at 10:35. Bob Pompeani, Ron Cook here tonight. And for the third straight year, the Penguins are going to open on the night of the NFL draft in Washington. Go figure on that, but that's the case. And let's talk a little bit about that before we go to the Lions. Ron, Steelers have picked number 28. There's so many mock drafts, so many things and scenarios have come and gone. Have no idea what to think other than a lot of positions will be in play. Maybe, except quarterback, but of these ones, which one will be?
Some people were picking quarterback for him. I mean, like as you said, I mean, obviously opinions are like noses. Everybody has one, and it seems like everybody has a mock draft. I've heard some people suggest Mason Rudolph for the Steelers. Other people have said Lamar Jackson. I hope it's defensive help. I'm not saying you have to get an inside linebacker. There seems to be 4 that everybody likes, and if they're gone, there's quite a drop-off to number 5. So I hope the Steelers don't take one just to take one. I'd take a cornerback. I'd take a safety. I'd take an outside linebacker. Any position, really, but quarterback. I want to get somebody to help Ben win now, not worry about replacing Ben.
You can also remember, too, that the New England Patriots have 2 picks in the first round and second round. They also have a need to try to get some big names in here, and they've not been shy about saying that today. Rob Gronkowski went out and said he will be back, and it looks like they're looking at OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., and they have picks to dangle. Who knows what they're trying to do? Same mentality in New England as it is in Pittsburgh, which is win now. Tom Brady's there.
Not forever.
Loaded up.
Seems like it might be forever, but it's not.
No. All right, let's go to line 2 to begin. It's Derek in North Fayette. Hey, Derek, how you doing?
How you doing, guys?
What's up, Derek?
I got good to talk to you guys tonight. I have 2 questions for you. Why do we always have to play New England Patriots? And will you take Le'Veon Bell and being that we tag and trade him for 1, 2, 3 draft picks and cash?
That's not going to happen.
Can't trade him. You're not allowed to trade.
No, it has to be a sign and trade if you're going to do it, but it's not going to happen.
They made a commitment to him. He's going to be here 1 more year. I don't see any way that he's not, and I don't see any way that he's here beyond this year.
But that doesn't mean...
Unless they do a long-term deal, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, he's resisted all of it, so I get the feeling he wants to move on, and we'll see. And so the Steelers will draft a running back at some point in this draft.
You know what, though, Bob? So. If they win a Super Bowl and he helps lead the way,
that's all you want.
Wish him well and say goodbye.
All right, let's go out to line 1. David at Duquesne. Hey, David, how you doing?
Hi, Bob. Hi, Ron. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. Hey, I got a quick question regarding the NHL refs, the linesmen in particular, dropping the puck. It always seems like those guys just take forever. It drags the game on longer. It just seems like they just delay the game. I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
I say more guys are getting thrown out, aren't they? I mean,
yeah.
They
jump the gun a little bit.
I can never remember, and then you got to throw them out. And the danger with that is if the second guy gets thrown out, it's a delay of game penalty. So you got to be careful with the second guy. I don't know how much it slows down the game, but I have noticed guys get thrown out a little bit more.
Robin in Hill District joins us right now on line 4. Hey, Rob.
Hey, I got a question. My question is about Pitt, but Ron and Bob, y'all need to quit it. It's the same old Capitals. They big and slow. We're younger and faster. We're going to beat them. But my thing with Pitt is we got our first 4-star recruit, man, coming in, Jeff Capel on the run doing his thing. What y'all think?
Yeah, he's a 4-star recruit. He seems like he's one of those guys who they could build around, but at the same time, I've seen 4-star recruits who, are advertised as that and turn out to be not so much, and other guys who are 2-star recruits turn out to be 5-star recruits. So this is a game right now based on...
I've never been one to get excited about recruits until I see what they can do.
Right.
I know it's a national holiday when these football players commit to Pitt or Penn State or West Virginia or wherever, but how many times, as you said, the great ones sometimes bust, and the last guy you get may turn out to be a star. I want to see him play.
All the proof I need is watching a guy like Aaron Donald, who I remember talking to him. He felt like nobody was giving him enough in recruiting. He was a guy who ended up going to Pitt, and he wanted to go to Pitt, but he also didn't have many other offers. And he turns out to be not only the best player maybe in their history at that position, but he's one of the best players in the NFL right now.
From Florida, Antonio Bryant. I think he was the last recruit of the class. And he became, now he was surpassed by Larry Fitzgerald and a few others. He was one of the great receivers in Pitt history. Last recruit of the class.
Do you remember Brian Davis, the running back out of Washington High School?
I do.
He was supposed to be the next coming of whatever, and it never turned out to be for whatever reason.
Guys get hurt, it just doesn't.
Russell Shell at Hopewell High School. Now, there were some other issues at play with him, but he never turned out to be what everyone thought he would be. So
you never know until you actually see what they do on the field.
Line 1, John in Johnstown. Brother John, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, Bob. Hey, Ron. How you guys doing?
We're great.
Wrong Brother John, but go ahead.
Hey, just wondering, Ron, your thoughts about last year with Letang being out. You really didn't think that the Pens were going to do much. Now, with Letang being in, what are your thoughts about them moving on?
Well, I mean, I like him in this series. I do. I don't think Letang's playing his best hockey. I don't think he's playing the way he was before his surgery. I gave him no chance to win a cup last year without him. I know for people didn't like their chances last year without him. Now I'm a little bit worried about Malkin, Bob. I don't know what the status is with him and Hagelin. They're going to need to win the cup. I don't know whether they're going to need him to get by Washington. I would think so. But I'm glad Letang is back. I think they're a much better team with Letang, even though he had an up-and-down series against Philadelphia, and he had an up-and-down year.
Yeah, he's one of those players who can make a big difference in a big way, offensively and pinching in, defensively too. He's like having two defensemen with the amount of ice time he gets. But at the same time, there are others who have slacked off a little bit. I noticed Jamie Alexiak's minutes have gone down.
Way down.
I don't know if that's a sign.
They're not playing he or Rowito as much.
Right,
They're basically going with the top four, and that can be dangerous in a long series.
And if one of them gets hurt, now you're down to slim pickings.
Henwick is the only guy you got left.
Ryan in Clarion joins us right now on the Sports Call. Hello, Ryan. Well, Ryan wasn't there. He was there. Now he's no longer there. Let's go out to Mark in Washington. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, hi, guys.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, I have a friend of mine. He played for Slippery Rock under Kevin Colbert. And do you guys think that he's got something up his sleeve this year?
He better have a good pick up his sleeve at number 28. I mean, I think Colbert's done a great job here. His track record speaks for itself. These guys do miss occasionally. You can't miss with a 1 or 2 or a 3. There's pressure on him, but it's always difficult. It says a lot about he and Tomlin and the organization that they're always picking 23, 25, 28. They never have a year where they can pick 6 or 7. You don't want a 3-13 year, and Tomlin has never had a losing season here. The worst is 8-8. So there's pressure on them this year, no doubt. They got to help that defense because the time is running out on Ben. When it's 1 more year, 2 more years, it's running out. They need to win 1 more with him, I believe.
Gordon Bombay on Twitter at KDPomp at Ron Cook PG says, to be fair, replying to a previous caller, Washington has a slightly younger average age. And you're right, Gordon, they do.
They're not very quick, though. They're not as fast.
Their defense especially is not as fast. So I think the Penguins can pounce on them that way and put some pressure in the attack zone. But, the Penguins have a lot of guys who are older, and it just brings up the average. They're still playing. You are correct. Let's go out to Mike.
Today, by the way, you just had a birthday not that long ago. Today is Letang's birthday.
Letang. I saw the cake on Instagram.
He's 31.
Lovely wife.
He's 31 today. So,
yeah.
Bob, you remember when you were 31?
Yeah, just a few years ago.
I got socks older than 31.
Well, we had, I don't forget who it was from Oil City on, but we'll go to Larry in Tionesta, another nice area up there. Hello, Larry. How are you?
Good.
Good.
What do you think about the law of averages with the Capitals here?
Yeah, that's Bob Prince's hidden vigorish, right? If you're old enough to remember Bob Prince, he always used to say the closer you, the more you lose, the closer you come to winning, and the more you win, the closer you come to losing. One of those years, they're going to win. They're not. The Penguins aren't going to beat them forever. One of these years, the Penguins aren't going to win the Stanley Cup. Hopefully, it's not for 1 more year.
And if the Penguins do beat the Capitals and win another Stanley Cup, I'll look back and say, wait a minute. People will criticize the Caps all they want, but this is a Penguin machine going through 3 consecutive years of everybody, not just the Capitals. And I don't, from that point of view, I don't think it's the same as, people want to say choke and this and that. I didn't see that. I saw a Penguin team that just outplayed the Capitals, and I thought the Capitals played well.
What I don't like is the NHL doesn't reseed. They want these division games. Last year, the Capitals were the President's Trophy winners. I believe the Penguins had the second most points, so they play in the second round.
Right.
And this year, it's Nashville and Winnipeg, right?
Same
and
thing.
They're playing in
two
the
of the
second
best
round.
teams will be
Not
eliminated.
two of the best, the two best record-wise, playing in the second round.
So when we come back, I'll ask you, which would you rather have, this division format, or would you like to reseed in the NHL playoffs? We have Adam and Brentwood coming up next right here on the Sports Call.